What's up going on YouTube? It's Dynasty Bros bringing you 2024 rookie quarterback rankings. Finally got my co-star back.
Hey everybody, it's Max back.
So here at Dynasty Bros, we like to use our little tier makers. Shout out tier maker on Twitter. Thanks for liking the tweet. Like making these things. So my co-star here is going to introduce the tier rankings we have here and how we break up these quarterbacks while I do some studio stuff.
Yeah, welcome. We're going to do the tier system. It's kind of what we use here. It's kind of how we go ahead and allocate a lot of the players, and we build a tier system. So you're going to get to see it today. All we do is we take, who are the quarterbacks that are going to be the first round lock? The ones you know are going to go in the first round for sure. So that's our first tier. Those you guys that you know about. The second one is going to be the fringe guys, the guys that may or may not make it in the first round that are pretty good, but have some more question marks. Then you get the second or third round guys that we think they're going to go probably in the second or third round. You get the fourth or fifth round guys, the Dak Prescotts that will probably start for you. Hopefully they have potential, but that's kind of where they're going to go. You get the
Definitely got those fourth, fifth guys that get in there, and even seventh. Right, we got Brock Purdy this next weekend coming in out of the seventh round, Mr. Irrelevant.
Right. The sixth, seventh round, we got those guys, and those are going to be like the Tom Brady's, the Brock Purdy's, the unicorns.
Yeah, and people forget, right now is going on the Senior Bowl and Shrine Bowl, and some of the guys that were playing the playoffs for the Senior Bowl. Josh Allen is also in here this time. Some other notable guys that we talk about from the Senior Bowl, right? Kenny Pickett won round one. So,
and then we got the TBD, the guys that there's still too many question marks. Whether it's through injury or just their status. So we'll talk about them just briefly.
Okay, and let's get it started. All right. This quarterback comes out of USC. He's a junior, 6'1", 215 pounds. Had a little bit of down year, still productive with 3,633 yards, 30 TDs, 5 interceptions, 82 QBR. We have Mr. Caleb Williams. And then coming in right after Caleb, we have Drake May, the UNC quarterback, sophomore, 6'4", 230 pounds, 3,680 yards, 24 TDs, 9 interceptions, and an 80 QBR. Really like him, man. He's fun to watch. We got that breakdown coming down preferably in the next couple of days for Drake May Film Plus analytics. Make sure you guys follow along for that.
I said he had a down year too.
He did have a down year, and here's the next guy. He's most people's quarterback ones right now in fantasy. He's even quarterback even for NFL purposes. He's the Heisman Trophy winner this year. He's from LSU. He's a senior. He's 6'4", 210 pounds.
And fast.
Had one of the most productive years in college football ever. 3,812, 40 TDs, 4 interceptions, 95.6. Led the NCAA in QBR. Also rushing, just complete cheat code. We have Mr. Jaden Daniels. All right, so that rounds out our round one lock. These are the guys we're thinking to go round one for sure. I think Caleb goes 1, May goes 2, Daniels goes 3, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Daniels goes before Drake May, and I can see that happening as well.
Some of the combine, I think, impact that as well.
Yeah, finally get to see those guys throw. It'll be nice to see them. All right, here's Fringe Round 1 tier. This guy, he was in NCAA championship. He's young. He's a junior. He's 6'3". He's had a decently okay productive year. He had 2,991 yards, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 88 QBR. Was third in QBR this year for NCAA. Won the NCAA championships from Michigan. Had his Mr. J.J. McCarthy.
I think he becomes a fringe round one guy because of the success of Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because he wasn't asked to do much in Michigan. Purdy, he does what he does. I mean, is he a great arm talent? Is he great? Well, he wins games. That you can't take away from him. He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. McCarthy is similar in that regard. So that's why inevitably he moves up.
Yeah, that and he's efficient. The analytics like him. Pressure sack ratio, he's a golden boy and basically everywhere for analytical purposes, I would not be surprised if he definitely makes it in round 1. He's also young too, right?
Yep.
He's also young, so you don't draft them for what they are. You draft them for what they could be. All right. So, all right, he finishes up our round 1. I think these other guys, I think, are round 2 or 3. Would not be surprised if the teams get to maybe they draft from round 1 because they might be desperate. But here we go. Starting off round 2 to 3. I think there's what I think, and here's what the NFL thinks. So I think here's what the NFL is going to do. So this guy, I like him. He was also in the NCAA championship. He's from Washington. He's 6'2", 212 pounds, had 4,903 yards, 36 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, had an 84 QBR. I'm talking about Michael Penix here. So I personally like Penix rounding out round 2, 3 here for me because the guy was efficient. He's one of the best pressure sack ratios. Super good. Like him, he balled out all year. Obviously, you have to wait for the medicals and stuff. But this other guy right after him, I think, probably could go before him. And you can argue that he might be better in the NFL going forward. All right, coming up next, we got another guy. Was also...
Yeah, I agree with those because Penix, they were saying the comparison was kind of like a strong arm Tua. Same injury history in college. Potentially, yeah, they thought left-handed, but still, he did do well. He potentially, but again, there's some unknowns.
I think he's Matt Ryan in like a good way. He's just a thrower over the ball. He's accurate, he's fast, he's got a nice deep ball, arm strength. Not super mobile, but he does what he needs to get done.
I think he'll be a starter in the NFL, potentially, depending on the team he lands on, because they were saying the layered system and how they throw the ball. They throw some deep, mid, and short, and he can do all those.
Yeah. All right, next one we got. To let you guys know, I'm reading off the Reese's Senior Bowl numbers here for these guys if I have them. So this is Bo Nix, 6'1", 218 pounds, had a 4,508 yards with 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He was second in QBR, 91.2. So film guys, analytical guys love Bo Nix, right? They absolutely love Bo Nix. I've been seeing him mocked to round 1. I know a lot of people think Bo Nix goes to Denver. There's a lot of buzz on that right now that Denver's desperate for a quarterback. Bo Nix could go from round 2 to round 1. In my opinion, he's like Kenny Pickett or like a really like the current or like last year's Russell Wilson that was just like kind of bad. But I can see NFL GMs get excited over Bo Nix. That's all I got for round 2 to 3.
He did move from Auburn, right, to Oregon where he's going to throw more.
Yeah.
So I give him credit for that. He knew that stuck in Auburn, he wasn't going to, even though he started as a freshman, he wasn't going to fired it up and get the stats like this in Auburn.
Yep.
So I give him credit for making the move because now he's into the discussion. So that shows some maturity.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and round 5 or 4 to 5 here. This guy, he was, the top on the top. He was the pinnacle. He was the golden boy coming out of high school. Yeah, he started off at Oklahoma and is currently from South Carolina. He's 6 foot, 219 pounds, had 3,186 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 66 QBR, 45th. I'm talking about Spencer Rattler. You're probably like, what? Spencer Rattler? He's trash. All right, well, if you actually watch the film on him, I mean, his O-line didn't really do him in favors. Didn't really have that many offensive weapons. I mean, Xavier Legette is okay. I mean, he didn't have any real good stars like some of the other guys have on their team, in my opinion. I mean, you still got to respect that he was one of the highest rated quarterbacks coming out of high school. You still got to respect that. He's matured. Even on the Senior Bowl, they asked him, hey, what would you tell 17-year-old, teenage Spencer Rattler? He's like, well, I got to stay humble. I would have told myself to stay humble and be humble because, he said I had the highest highs, lowest lows. He's definitely had to come back. I think if that maturity carries over into the NFL, I think that'll really help him and help even boost his stock, maybe even get to around 4. That way the team can take a shot on him.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, coming up next, he's from Tulane. He is 6'2", 216 pounds, 2,406 yards, 22 TDs, 5 interceptions, 65 QBR. Talking about Mr. Michael Pratt. Michael Pratt, he's at the Senior Bowl right now. He's, I think he's the Aiden O'Connell of this one, or he's like Clayton Tune. He's Jake Hayner of the group here. I think he'll be an NFL backup, but he'll be serviceable. You can even say he's like Jimmy G or Jake Browning. I like those aren't bad, right? You're an NFL quarterback. You're a good backup. I like him. He's serviceable. He can win you some games, but he's never gonna. I don't think he's gonna be superstar to win you a game changer.
Yeah, I liked Aiden O'Connell. Actually, I picked him up in one of my leagues because I knew he was going to at least get you some points if you're desperate. He worked out pretty good.
All right, and the next one here, he's from Tennessee, 6'5", 235 pounds, had 2,813 yards, 20 TDs, 5 interceptions, 70 QBR, which is pretty nice for him. Talking about Mr. Joe Milton III out of Tennessee. This guy, man, I heard all off season last year, he's going to be Anthony Richardson. He's going to be, the big guy coming. He's going to shoot his stock all the way up to round 1. He can throw a ball 90 yards. He's a freak athlete. I like Joe Milton. The upside is definitely there, but he's not as accurate. He's not as good in the pocket compared to Anthony Richardson. I liked Anthony Richardson last year. I don't see that in Joe Milton, but round 5, I could see it. It'd be kind of nice if you're a QB coach and you say, "Hey, I can coach this kid up." I mean, why not, right? Upside's definitely there for Joe Milton.
Yeah, he's a feast of family guy. He's certainly got the physical attributes. I think kind of like Anthony Richardson, if he does well at the combine and has exceptional athletic abilities, a team that maybe not necessarily like Anthony Richardson, where they throw him in right away, like the Colts, but if they can put him on the bench for a couple of years, a la Jordan Love, he might be somebody who can shine in that type of environment. He's shown flashes, but he's also shown huge question marks and red flags. But he certainly has potential, and that's what teams may be looking for.
Yeah. That rounds out round 4 to 5 for us. All right, we got round 6 to 7.
You going to say anything about Hartman?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Okay.
So, next guy here, he's from Notre Dame. He's also at the Senior Bowl. 6'1", 209 pounds, 2,689 yards throwing, 24 touchdowns, 8 receptions, a 75 QBR. Talk about Sam Hartman. This guy, he's on the older side. He's had injuries. Even they interviewed him, right? He said, I had like a softball size, like growth in underneath my arm. He's had all kinds of injuries. Props to him for fighting back and getting to where he is. Shout out Sam Hartman. Good for you, man.
Took out his rib, right?
Yeah, that's right. He took out his rib. He wears it around his neck now. That was pretty interesting, pretty cool. It's good for him.
Tough guy.
Yep. He's a tough guy, especially for being 6 foot on the shorter side. He's a tough dude for sure. I think he also fits in the mold of a good serviceable backup. I actually like him. Like accuracy wise, he's not bad. He can put the ball in the places. Issues on arm strength and stuff, but I think he's got good pre-snap ability. I think he's got good pocket management. I think he could be a nice pick for a team at around 6 or 7.
Yeah, he's a tough guy physically, obviously, from what he's gone through. And then also, he's got to be a tough guy mentally to bounce back. And those are two good traits that you might be able to work with, certainly with good coaching and good improvement.
Yeah. All right, this next guy, he's at the Shrine Bowl. He's been lighting it up. I like this guy's accuracy. He's having a fun time in Dallas. I worry that Jerry might fall in love with this guy, but he's not. Depends where you draft him, right? So he's from Kentucky, senior, 6'1", 217 pounds, 2,746 yards, 25 TDs, 12 interceptions, had a 65 QBR. Talking about Mr. Devin Leary.
Devin Leary, Devin Levis. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Devin Leary, so he's your traditional like pocket passer type quarterback. Like, his ball placement is pretty nice. He's pretty accurate. He's been lighting up at the Shrine Bowl. Watch the film on him. I mean, he's pretty good. I wouldn't even be mad putting him over Sam Hartman eventually. I can see it happen, but I think Devin Leary should have got an invitation to the Senior Bowl. And I'm not sure if they couldn't fill out. I don't know what happened, but I feel like he should have been in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, and I was joking about Levis. I mean, he certainly has the arm talent that he had, and he actually had a couple good games in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then some not so good games too. But
yep.
The guys coming out of Kentucky, certainly in the system, they certainly can make the throws, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can see Jerry Jones fall in love with him and just maybe take him in round 7. Who knows?
There'll be a lot of other guys Jerry Jones falls in love with that won't be that good. I mean, you gotta look at Michigan.
Oh man!
Sorry, don't even get me started on the Cowboys. Okay.
So these next two guys, Talia Tagovailoa, I'll talk about first. I haven't done enough, film study on him. Don't have a complete profile on him yet. So I'm just gonna put him in, TBD. Obviously, he's Tua's little brother. Everybody knows Tua Tagovailoa is, quarterback for Miami Dolphins. Tua's amazing. Alabama. I don't think Talia Tagovailoa is as good as Tua.
Talia, yeah.
He even tried to go back another year for college, but the NCAA denied him for like a 5th or 6th year, something like that. 7th year, I don't know. But they denied him, so he declared, and I'm not sure what's going on with his stock right now, or his film really.
Yeah, and he'll be size too, right? Because when you say he's his little brother, he's 5'11" is what they have him listed here, 5'11", 208. You know how much of a battle it was for Bryce Young, and you can't say Talia and then Bryce Young in the same tier for sure. If they were concerned about his size, I mean, his size here is the same question. Of course, he's 208, but he didn't play bad at Maryland. And some of the tape that I've seen, I mean, you'll have to keep looking, but yeah, there's a lot of questions that'll be to BD on him for sure.
All right, this other guy, he's from Florida State. Everybody knows who I'm probably talking about. Obviously, you see on the screen here. I'll just say Jordan Travis. We saw the leg injury. We saw what he was doing beforehand. He got the injured. Not sure what's going to happen with his draft stock. If I was an NFL GM and the medicals clear out and they clear, I'd probably get him around 4 or 5. I really liked him. I think he was a game manager / game changer for Florida State. I can't believe they gypped the undefeated Florida State team from a chance in the playoffs. Good for the NCAA for expanding. It gives maybe guys like that and the ACC championship, man. Like they won. They didn't even let the ACC champion get into the college football playoffs because they said, well, Jordan Travis is injured, so like if he's that good, all right, you can. All right, so if he's that good to weigh the scales and say, okay, we can't put the undefeated Florida State team in the championship, we got to take him out because Jordan Travis is out. He must be pretty dang good. But
how'd they do against Georgia?
Yeah. So I'll put Jordan Travis in TBD right now. I really like him. I'm not even sure if we can ever play football again. I have no idea. I got we're gonna wait for the medicals. Obviously, every year there's always guys that we hope that do well, but some other issue comes up. They find all kinds of stuff at the NFL Combine, and they don't ever release the medicals to the public. For example, right, we had a running back guy we liked last year, Sean Tucker. Like everybody, the whole entire Devy community, like we all liked him. Turns out he's a heart issue, and then like can he even play football ever again? Like who knows?
Yeah, he went undrafted, right? Went to the Bucks.
Yeah, and I don't know, stuff like that happens. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I think they'll take a flyer on him as well. Somebody will. If he falls far enough, they'll get him.
So that's it for our quarterbacks here. For our QB rankings, obviously things will change. I don't know why Carter Bradley's not on here. Okay. Well, I'll just mention this guy again. Carter Bradley, I have. He's South Alabama. He's also at the Senior Bowl. Should be in round 6 to 7. He's been looking pretty good so far as well. I like his game. You know, he's 6'3", 218 pounds, 2,666 yards, 19 TDs, 7 interceptions, 64 QBR. He's at home right now doing the Senior Bowl. I think he's another guy to watch out for. I like him after Leary. Put our faces back here. All right, so appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, these are 2024 rookie rankings. Obviously, these are going to be flexible. Things are going to change from here to the NFL draft, and even probably afterwards after they get drafted. But most of these are probably what I think are going to probably stay the same from now until then.
Certainly the top 3.
Again, last year, right, we did projections as well on the QBs. Go ahead and check out that video from last year to see where we were with how we thought the quarterbacks were going to get drafted last year. And, let us know how we did with that. For this year, let us know who, we're too high on, we're too low on. Who's your favorite quarterback in this draft? Where do you want your favorite quarterback to go in the NFL draft? Which team? Again, if you can, like our videos, share the videos with your friends. Comment down below for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go check out our Caleb Williams video. Above, I'll link it up here. That way you guys can click on it. Got that Drake May video coming out soon. Got to do full film breakdown with him as well as the stats. So again, thanks for tuning in. With that being said, we are Dynasty Buffs, and we see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.